I'm Deanna, and you're watching FYI. The next state general election will be held on Tuesday, November 8th. And now it's easier than ever to skip the lines and vote from the comfort of home. Learn how to vote absentee next.
Voting absentee in Ann Arbor's upcoming election is so easy, even a kid can do it. Simply register to be an absentee voter by sending the proper paperwork to the Ann Arbor City Clerk via email, mail, or in person. As the election approaches, absentee voters will receive their ballot in the mail. To vote, completely darken the box opposite each of your choices. When complete, place the ballot in the secret sleeve so votes cannot be seen and the number stub is visible. Place your ballot and secret sleeve in the return envelope. Seal, sign and date in the designated area, stamp and mail, or deliver your ballot in person to the city clerk before the close of polls on Election Day.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. Finding a place to call your own where lifelong friends can be made, where you can make a difference, is closer than you may think. The University of Michigan's largest run student org is blending the community with the campus.
DMUM stands for Dance Marathon at the University of Michigan.
There's something bigger than yourselves, right? It's a cause that is going to resonate with everyone here within Ann Arbor. If you have a sick child, we have one of the best children's hospitals in the universe in our backyard. Why would you want to go anywhere else? We have a pediatric only ER, we have wonderful doctors and nurses and staff and therapists that are in there on a daily basis. If you have an opportunity to give to these students, to help these students help our little victors, I can't think of a better cause, honestly.
This organization is absolutely incredible. They are with us volunteering, and as we are offering our enrichment programs in a virtual setting, the Dance Marathon, they are on the Zoom calls with us, they're volunteering with us, and the kids love to see them and they look forward to seeing them at these therapies like martial arts and yoga and many other ones that we offer.
We have a lot of participation, partially because we're able to partner with Mott Children's Hospital to have very close personal relationships with the kids that we volunteer with.
These students behind us, the students of DMUM, they're doing a tremendous job to support those families that are not just there for a night, but are there for a week, a month, or 3 months at a time.
It's so meaningful to watch the kiddos participate in these adaptive and inclusive programs that are unique to Michigan Medicine pediatric rehab team, not necessarily found in the community, and we really like to emphasize that we are providing something unique with the support of Dance Marathon.
For more on this rewarding organization, visit dmum.org. We all love good eats on the grill and a warm campfire, but before you ignite those flames, there's some need-to-know safety info. Learn more in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, my name is Mike Kennedy. I'm the fire chief for the Ann Arbor Fire Department, here today to talk about fire safety. We have a lot of information on the city website, a2gov.org/fire, for both grilling safety along with outdoor fireplace safety. For grilling safety, we recommend keeping grills at least 10 feet away from a structure. If you have hot coals, never throw them into the trash. That can cause a fire. And for outdoor fire safety, you can't have campfires in the city of Ann Arbor. They have to be 25 feet from a structure. You are also allowed to have portable fireplaces. Those have to be 15 feet from a structure. You need to make sure that they're tended at all times and they're completely extinguished before you leave. There's some additional guidance and requirements that are available on the city website. Please go there, check it out. If you have any other questions, please let us know. We're happy to answer.
In 1984, Carytown Concert House was founded by Deanna Relyea. Since its inception, it has been a staple to the Ann Arbor arts and entertainment community, with a variety of music genres gracing the stage, along with theater productions and a celebration of the written word. For the past 26 years, the Concert House has been hosting a 4-day music and performance extravaganza with Edgefest. Joining me is Deanna Relyea, Director of Edgefest. Welcome back to the show, Deanna.
Thank you, Deanna.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about, obviously you and this music festival go hand in hand. So tell me about, 26 years ago, starting it and wanting to keep it growing over these past over 2 decades.
Well, the Concert House was started, really, my main thought was classical music, because I'm a classical musician. As it was beginning, it was clear that we needed to branch out and be more inclusive so that we could contribute to the cultural scene. Dave Lynch, who is instrumental in the starting of Edgefest, came to me and said, we should be doing these avant-garde, kind of edgy, improvisational people who are coming out of New York and San Francisco. We had 3 inquiries from touring groups at the same time. And so I said, hey, maybe we should have all 3 and call it a festival and people will come. And lo and behold, that happened. And Dave Lynch was the artistic force behind it for 10 years. And in the meantime, I'm administrating and meeting all these people and enjoying a new genre and learning about the music and getting to like it and like the people. And it's so when he stepped down after 10 years, I continued on, and I knew more about the music and was able to be artistic director for now 16 years.
When you stepped away from being the executive director of Carytown Concert House, did you see yourself wanting to continue to be the artistic director of Edgefest? Because I'm sure it's a lot of work to put on a 4-day festival.
Well, I get a lot of support from the Concert House because they're involved too. And I felt that this was a really important component of the Concert House's presentations, and it really brings a national and international attention to the Carytown Concert House, Ann Arbor. It's really been a love of mine, and I love the artists. I called it my graduate education.
Well, when you do the process of booking the artists, do you find now that obviously it's an established festival that they come to you, or are you still having to sort of do your research and find out what's new and happening?
Well, I keep up on what's new and happening through the people that I know, and I find that it's because we're in touch with these people a lot, I don't have any trouble picking and choosing. What keeps it manageable is that we have a theme every year. And so in the beginning, we had instrumental themes. So there was a bass year and a drum year, a saxophone year. So the theme, which brings us maybe to the theme of this.
Yes, I would love to know about the theme.
A year ago, we're blessed in that we have gotten funding from the National Endowment for the Arts every year, and you have to think ahead and apply for these grants. And a year and a half ago, we were applying for this year, and the theme of justice and social issues were very much at hand. And the theme, breathing free, of course, in my brain came from the George Floyd incident. But it carries over to many of the things we're thinking about today, of course, to free democracy, to including all sorts of nationalities and backgrounds and genders and genres. So being free to be. It's an important festival in that way, and so our first concert, it's something new. We were thinking about all of the Detroit musicians who really, many people don't know about this, but they're noted internationally in Europe and around the world for their innovative and the avant-garde movement in jazz there in Detroit. And so we're presenting in Detroit at Trinosauce, which is a relatively new venue down in the Eastern Market area that presents this kind of music. Joel Peterson runs that, and he's a wonderful bass player who will be playing. And so it's a kind of a gala opening there with about 12 musicians playing on the stage, and Kenny Green, who's one of the most distinguished pianists in this music, is leading it. We're very proud of that moment.
Do you typically go to other venues outside of, the Washtenaw County, Ann Arbor area, like the opening night where you're in Detroit?
No, that's the first time.
Mhm.
We usually have everything at the concert house with a larger ensemble at Bethlehem Church, for instance. That's
Okay.
our final night there, because the concert house is smallish, so
Yeah.
perfect for this music.
Well, why don't you tell us, you told us about night one, why don't you tell us about night two, which is at the concert house, and what we can expect to see there?
There are 4 sets, and the first set is led by Kenji Lee, who's a young saxophonist from the area who actually used to work at the concert house, is now working in Detroit. His trio, called Fortune Teller Trio, we're proud to present him and his work. William Hooker Trio. William Hooker is the most dynamic. This guy is from New York. He's a drummer, percussionist, and composer. And he's just got a wild imagination and a huge personality on the drums, and he often kind of sings, talks. The third set is something we're very proud of. Ken Filiano is a bass player who's played at Edgefest many times. He's a wonderful, I think, one of the best bass players going around. And Jay Clayton, who is a singer of many edges. Very distinguished singer, and the two of them are doing a set called the Double Duo because they use electronics also. But Jay Clayton does straight ahead jazz tunes. And she does this kind of music where it's not predictable. And she's a wonderful artist. And the two of them are dedicating their set to a pianist in this music, Connie Crothers, who died a couple of years ago. And her friends are sponsoring this tribute to their friends. And Connie and Jay were very good friends. So that's a very touching moment, actually. It ends, the evening ends with a Matthew Shipp trio. Matthew Shipp is one of the greatest pianists in the music today.
So then you have your Friday night then?
Friday night is remarkable in that there are a lot of singers. I don't know how this happened, but it happened. We have Yulemi Thomas, wonderful, powerful saxophonist from San Francisco. His wife, Ijemi, is a great singer and poet. She's a great performer, very dramatic. And he has instrumentalists from the area, including his brother, Ken Thomas, pianist, who we love very much. And then the Michael T.A. Thompson, who's a drummer from New York that we know and love, he is coming, and he wanted me to sing. I'm a classical singer, but I've been taken to this out of the box kind of singing.
Mm-hmm.
So the words inspire the moment. You'll see. And actually he's coming with a wonderful pianist, Mara Rosenblum, who's having a wonderful career in New York, and we like her very much. Of course, our piano at the concert house is a wonderful piano, and everybody wants to play it. So, well, actually, there's a great trio from Chicago that doesn't have a singer, but they're the statesmen of this music who happen to live in Chicago. Dave Rempis, saxophonist, and Mark Feldman, who just moved there from New York, great violinist, who started out playing country music and recording in Nashville, but gave it up and moved to New York. The IRS was very surprised that his salary went way, way down. New York. It ends that night, Friday night, with a great, powerful singer, Faye Victor. Her group Mutations for Justice. It's going to be wild. She's one of the greats, really. She's hard to put her in a box, that's for sure. People should come just for that.
Yeah.
She's an amazing person. And actually their set is dedicated to a player that died recently, Jamie Branch, trumpet player, who was in this group. That's another moment for the concert house. Yeah,
I'm sure that'll be powerful. Yeah. So then you still have Saturday, right? And you do matinee and evening performances on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday is full because it starts with a parade, and the parade has grown out of a residency that we do during Edgefest at Scarlett Middle School, where Carolyn Fitzgerald is a teacher. She's a fantastic teacher, and she has a huge, wonderful band program of these kids, and who don't know what hit them when these artists come and go through improvising exercises and play Sun Ra tunes, and it's a great thing, this residency. I don't think people know about it widely, but for 3 days, people like the violinist or violist who's going to be playing on Saturday afternoon. Melanie Dyer comes and works with him, or Andrew Bishop, who is the head of the jazz department at Michigan, great saxophonist. He works with them too. And then there may be 80 kids with a lot of parents, and they get in a line, they march all around Carytown. The farmers market people, they don't know what hit them. It's not your usual, Sousa parade. It's a raucous and noisy and fun. Yeah. And we give them pizza on the lawn afterwards. Then at 2 o'clock, we start up. This year, we're starting with a great solo pianist, Alexander Hawkins, who's a Brit. He's from England. He happens to be touring during this period. And he's playing a solo set, and everyone is very excited about this. And he is followed by a group called We Free Strings. And their message is, again, social justice, but six string players their music is very, very innovative. And some of it is composed, some of it is not. They're having a very good run, these We Free Strings. Actually, one of the violinists in the group grew up in Detroit and went to Michigan. And I don't know. And Ken Filiano was in that too. So, and after that, we moved to the church. People have dinner and go to the church. And the really great artist, he's a pioneer in this music. He's approaching his 8th decade. Anthony Braxton. Many honors. He is playing with James Fay, who's from California, who used to be one of his students. But James Fay is a distinguished player, and they have a duo going with electronics and playing. It's very dynamic. And actually, Braxton is going to be giving a talk at the School of Music on Friday afternoon, which we're happy that he's doing that, because Braxton, you can't put him in a box. He's writing operas. Granted, they're not, Madame Butterfly, but it's a different sort of use of the voice and music. And he's speaking to the students and the faculty there, and anybody who wants to come. It's free and open to the public. So they open at the church. And then a group of players from the area and from the university are going to be performing his music. 10 players that Andrew Bishop of Michigan and Mark Hannaford, who's relatively new to the faculty, wonderful pianist, and he and Andrew are leading this ensemble. I wanted to say, when I think of this ensemble, it's a mix of young and older musicians. And one is actually Andrew's son, Oliver, who's going to Michigan at the moment. So we have 2 women. One is a young student trumpet player, and one is a saxophonist who graduated from Michigan, who was making a career in Detroit and elsewhere. So I like the diversity of our roster in general because it's full of people of all colors, people, lots of women. I don't know. It's a natural, it's organic. It's not, it doesn't even have to be on purpose. um, and the final piece on the program is a composition by Jason Wong, violinist and composer that we know and love. He's just one of the top violinists, number one, but a composer of real depth. And he has this group called Burning Bridge, which combines his Chinese cultural heritage instruments with Western, and actually grows out of. I remember him talking about, he grew up in Chicago, but his mother came here as a refugee from China after World War II. She was one of those running from the invasion, running along the railroad tracks. So it's kind of a moment. And he's writing a new piece for Edgefest.
Oh, nice. Well, Deanna, we are actually out of time, but I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show, filling us in on the 2022 Edgefest, and say that people should probably get tickets now. Like you said, Carytown Concert House, especially those ones, it's not the biggest venue. So if you do want to see those acts at Carytown, I would probably suggest getting those tickets sooner rather than later. But yeah, to really take advantage of this year's performers.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all the way up to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.